Hi, so today I'll be talking about two articles. The first one is the local armed uprising and the transnational image of claim making, the Kurds of Turkey and the Zapatistas of Mexico in comparative perspective. As mentioned in the article name, we're going to mainly talk about the Zapatistas in Mexico and the Kurds of Turkey. Some local armed uprising have created a good transnational image because they're seen as social justice fighters. In the case of the Zapatistas, they reached that image, but the Kurds are seen as a terrorist organization. Globalization is also a huge factor in here because globalization is the interconnection between borders. So movements try to reach out to other nations for support. Technology is also a huge factor nowadays because through it, organizations have reached out to other movements and there have copied other movements. The case of the Zapatistas and the Kurds, they both have leftist ideals. The Kurds are more anti-imperialistic and have some Marxist thinking, and the Zapatistas are more of a populist movement. The Zapatistas, it all started in Chiapas, Mexico, when the indigenous communities didn't agree with the distribution of land. Then it began to appear a lot of neoliberalistic ideals, which was also against the beliefs of the indigenous communities. They thought of this as a disrespect to their tradition and culture. So this movement really caught the attention of the world in a good way. On the other hand, the Kurds, this all started after the Ottoman Empire fall. They didn't believe in ethnic groups, they believed more in religion, so this created a identity politics situation. They weren't in favor of those new identity policies. A lot of Turkish communities have isolated them, and this caught the attention of the world also, but as mentioned prior, in a bad way. Both of these groups have in common that they both fight against discrimination. And also, as mentioned before, globalization is also a huge factor in this because now these two movements are well known around the world and in international organizations. The other article I want to talk about is Rape as Genocide, Bangladesh, the former Yugoslavia, and Rwanda. The Genocide Convention doesn't consider sex violence as an act of genocide, and this is very sad because during war, soldiers use mass rapes as an act of war. It's hard to punish sexual violence sometimes because there's always some kind of lack of proofs, and a lot of women even feel ashamed to even talk about the sexual assault. In Western communities, it's very popular that judges actually apologize to the father and the husband of the woman that have been raped because they belong to them. During 1971, in the Pakistan versus Bangladesh war, around 400,000 women were raped. And that's not the only case. These women die or kill themselves because they couldn't carry with the burden. This rape damages the standing of a woman even more in these types of communities. We also have the case of Yugoslavia. Serbian soldiers raped a lot of women and they impregnated them because now they were carrying a Serbian child. We're talking about 10,000 to 60,000 Muslims women and Croatian women that were raped at that time. And also we have the case of 1994 in Rwanda. Soldiers raped also a lot of Tutsi women. They killed 1 million of Tutsi people. And the thing here is that most soldiers have HIV, and most of the survivors actually tested positive for HIV. What I found in common in these three different wars is that they raped women that were part of an ethnic group that considered rape to be ashamed. And they also used this as the mass rapes were premeditated, and they are not considered an act of genocide. Thank you.